Hi, in 2018, I took a video of what I'm told to describe as espionage. It's actually subversion and it's got some other names. Basically, and I can show you the video. I'm verifiably not mentally ill. I'm verifiably not doing this for attention. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing it for any sort of unsavory reasons. The people who brought it to me describe it as espionage because nobody knows what subversion, or hardly anybody knows what subversion and all these other fancy names are. It is a type of subversion where you undermine the most reasonable, most healthy, biologically and psychologically thinking people in the world or in a country, a target country, such that it undermines, when you do that, it evolutionarily and societally undermines the stability. You get less reasonableness, you get less healthy thinking. And simultaneously, if you're doing it properly, you prop up and support people with nefarious tendencies, people who lie more, people who are unreasonable, people who believe in magic, like God, Jesus, Allah, stuff like that, and are criminals and that sort of thing, do drugs and cheat on their spouses and those sort of things. Because why? Because that undermines sort of the fabric of society. That's a type of subversion, I guess. But let's call it espionage. The people who told me this, so after I took this video, my life was absolutely ripped apart. People forced me, it's long story through, sort of espionage, spy shit, manipulation, forced me to pretend to be mentally ill. And they say it saved my life by reducing my credibility, and it did, and that's part of why I want your help. By undermining, my credibility, but interestingly, my credit score is still like 823 or 830 or something like that. Anyway, it destroyed my life. They forced me to pretend to be mentally ill for about 2 years, and I am verifiably not mentally ill. I'm verifiably not dreaming this up. If you don't use plausibility in your analysis of that, like likelihood of occurrence, because this is a first in human history situation, I'm told, if all inclusive, if you look at my other videos. So it destroyed my life. They destroyed my credibility. These people trying to help me, they told me what I had, but the only way they can help me to save my life, right? And help me get started is by doing things that seem crazy but aren't actually crazy when you look into it. So if I say I'm saving the world, that sounds pretty crazy unless you actually look into it and it really is saving the world in some way, right? And that is what they're having me do. And also, they must make it must meet some sort of legal threshold or something like that. I'm not an attorney. I'm a hedge fund executive, former hedge fund executive. I got a master's degree in finance. Pretty darn smart guy, stock picker. They say they must interfere and continue to cause me to look like I'm mentally ill, look like I'm doing this for attention, etc., and so on, and look like I'm nuts. So their way out of it to help me is improving this way to live actually exists that they say will create harmony in the world. And it's loosely based off of the way humans used to live in different ways, diverse ways, but one main way, you could categorize them, that people used to live before crazy people, unreasonable people who believe in magic, believe in God and Jesus and Allah and Buddha, magical Buddha and stuff like that, used to live before they got outright slaughtered, and they were erased from history, partly because they had no need to write things down because they lived so simply and in harmony with the world, and partly because their existence in history got erased, just kind of like the Bible gets rewritten and they call it magical hand of God or whatever. This history just got didacted or removed from history, apparently. And you can see this in the human genome. I'm not a geneticist. That's what they say in how the world works and how we behave, and you can test that it actually is like this. I need your help. They've been barred from getting me help. The only help they can give, they must sort of make it detrimental to my life, and it's really a mind fuck if you think about it. Really bizarre situation. And they're barred from bringing this type of subversion to people because it legitimizes evolution of society and biology, which, if you're publicly funded, which is those type of people, spy people, right? State-sponsored people, you cannot legitimize, you cannot give backing to support a so-called belief, which is supposedly evolution when it's just science. It's totally messed up. And I'm glossing over a bunch of stuff. I can show you the video. I can't prove anything, but they say you can prove it if you're a forensic psychologist and an attorney, and you get some genetics involved. Supposedly, they let this happen to me so that I would record this video and so that it would become international. It is definitely not. I'm trying to build a website, and I'm trying to build a YouTube channel that will trend and make this popular, and so I can make a living, because the whole situation has put me through massive trauma and it's destroyed my life. And if they didn't do that, these nefarious people would think I'm still credible enough and harm me in some way. They say, continue to do subversion and possibly kill me or get me killed, get me in situations that would be more likely to get me killed and things like that. I'm not in danger, so don't report this as me in danger. These are people and situations you cannot prove easily. But I'm told if I get a forensic psychologist and attorney who don't assume, then we can prove this. And if you look into the real things on my website and in my videos that I'm talking about that aren't perfectly said, because I'm a real person and this is a real imperfect, very imperfect situation, we can prove this actually happens, and you don't have to assume anything. You don't have to believe anything. You don't have to succumb to or subject yourself to any cult or anything like that.